Check it out, it's the Roasty crew. Team Roasty. Very cute. Team Roasty. Hello, Team Chaos. Oh, doing the Maggie backup. Good work. Schmeek, what are you going to do to top that? Team Crunch. Oh, good spin. Hops. Ready for this? How's it going there, Schmeeg? I'm so excited. We went to the farmer's market and they have cherries. They had all this great stuff. So it's kind of rainy outside, which means it's a perfect day to stay in and cook. So recipes coming your way. All right, so we're going to make a bunch of different shrubs today. If you listen to the podcast, I had those. Shrubs are vinegar, sugar, fruit things that you can drink just with like club soda or in cocktails. So we're going to make a few. There's two ways to make them. Cold, where they kind of sit in the fridge for a couple days, or where you cook them. We're going to do some of each. This is going to be a cold one. It's blueberry, lavender. So this is 1 cup of blueberries, 1 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of lavender, and I'm going to smush that all together. All right, so that's what it looks like when it's smushed. Then I'm going to add in a cup of white wine vinegar. You can use whatever kind of vinegar you want, but not plain white because that's a little harsh. And so we're going to stir that all up, and this is a cold shrub, so we basically let that sit in the fridge for a day or two and then strain it so all the blueberry peels and stuff get out, and then you can drink it. So we'll look at it in the jar, but this is a little unsatisfying because it's not done, so we're going to do a cooked one next. By the way, this is a jar funnel, so it's like a funnel, but it fits in jars. So if you do a lot of stuff with mason jars, it's worth picking one of those up. Makes the pouring a lot easier. Okay, next is a cherry shrub. I bought a lot of cherries because I'm also going to make a cherry pie and some cherry compote. I am not one for extraneous kitchen utensils, but a cherry pitter, even though there's only cherries for a few weeks a year, is like your best friend if you're going to make cherry stuff. So you just put the little cherry in there and it pops the pit out at the bottom. It takes so long if you don't have a pitter, and it's super fast if you do. So get yourself a cherry pitter for a couple bucks if you're ever going to make cherry stuff. We're going to pit most of those. All right, so for the cooked shrub, we're going to do cherry. This is just a cup of sugar and water that we're going to simmer until the sugar's dissolved, and then we're going to add in our cherries and cook them a little bit. All right, now that we have that, we have a cup of cherries that I pitted. And we're going to put those in. I'm going to smush them a little bit, and then you just cook it until like all the juices are released from the cherries. So you simmer that for a while. All right, so this has been going for just about 10 minutes. And now we're basically just going to let it sit and cool. And then once that's done, we'll smush it a little more and combine it with the vinegar, and then it's ready to use. All right, that's cool now. And so we're going to strain that. So you kind of get all the juices out. And now you have a cherry syrup, which you could just keep, and you could put that in whatever. Shakes over ice cream. Use it anytime you need some kind of sweet syrup. Put it in your coffee, I guess. Italian sodas. If you want to make a shrub, then you add in vinegar. All right, so we put in a cup of apple cider vinegar. Again, you can use whatever kind of vinegar you want, but apple cider I think works well. And that's it. That's our shrub. We're just going to stick it in a jar and store it in the fridge, and then you can use that to make cocktails or fizzy water with like an ounce of this, a couple tablespoons. It's great. I'll make some cocktails with it later tonight. All right, so I promised 3. The third one is a peach shrub. We're doing exactly the same thing as with the cherry shrub. I have a cup of water and a cup of sugar in there that we're simmering just to mix them together. And then this is a cup of chopped up peaches. I used 3 peaches to get that much, and you can totally approximate whatever you want. So yeah, we're gonna let those simmer until everything's nice and soft, and then do the same thing. Smush it up add some vinegar, done. Hey everyone, got some groceries. Thanks for protecting me from them. All right, while our peaches and sugar are cooling, we're gonna make an apple pie for a cherry pie for GR Daddy. Usually it's apple, but it's gonna be cherry. So this is 4 cups of cherries that I already pitted, and we just put those directly in. I'm gonna cover it, and we're gonna wait till some of their juice comes out, which just takes a couple minutes. All right, so you can see there's a bunch of juice in there. That's just from the heat. I'm gonna add 1/8 of a teaspoon of almond extract, which actually smells like cherries. You can also use like Di Serono or like an amaretto liqueur. And then I have 1 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of cornstarch. We're gonna put that in there and stir it up. So that's everything together, and we're just gonna cook this on low until the sauce, right now it's kind of liquidy, but once that's nice and thick, like you want it to be in the pie, then we're done. So you just kind of stir it until it thickens, and then you're ready. All right, so while our cherries are cooking, we're gonna finish up with our peaches over here. This is a muddler, but you can use anything to smash them up if you have a potato masher, or even if you just want to use a fork or a big spoon. And this is just to get all the juice out of the peaches, and then we're gonna strain it in there, add the vinegar, and it's ready. All right, look how nice and thick that is now. So that's that. We're just gonna take it off and let it cool, and then we'll put it in the crust. So I'd like to do streusel topping on my pies. This is 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of flour. Just gonna mix that until it's crumbly, and then we can put it all together. Okay, so I just poured our filling into the crust. I buy my pie crust because I'm lazy. And now we have our nice streusel topping. We're just gonna sprinkle that over the top, and then we're gonna put this in. It's at 400 degrees, and we're gonna do that for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. And once the filling looks bubbly, then we're gonna put foil on it so the crust doesn't burn, and do it for like another 15 minutes. All right, this is the last one. If you're trying to watch your calories and you don't want to eat pie, you can make a cherry compote. So this is just a bowl of pitted cherries. There's nothing else in there. You can add in a little bit of sugar, say like 1/4 cup, a little bit of brandy if you want, whatever you want, but it works fine with just the cherries. All we're gonna do is put it in this, we're gonna leave it in this bowl, put some foil on the top, put it in the oven at 400, and just let it cook until it gets bubbly. And so it's just like eating the fruit, but it gets kind of sweet and delicious, and is way lower calorie than pie. Ding! Oh, good catch! Totally got that gator. Give me that, ready? Ding! Good job! Good job! Hi everybody. Hi Schmeeg. This is the Door Protection Committee, huh? Good job.
Welcome aboard. The Skills Initiative. German companies creating American jobs.
Hello, my sweet Jasmine.
With the help of one of these 5.
Everybody must be touching. You like it, Queso? Think it's dinner! You ready? Come here, Queso Faso. Team Roasty, good job. Come here, Team Chaos. Stealing Maggie's moves. A little standoff going on over there. There we go. Hello, light up friend. I don't think you're gonna find love in the house. Pretty cool though. We're gonna liberate the light up friend. Bye. I had no idea that you guys didn't have lightning bugs out on the west coast. I wish I could show them to you better in the snaps, but there's like thousands of them in the backyard, and the whole yard is kind of twinkling with the green yellow light. You can just see the kind of close bright ones picking up on here sometimes. When you're a kid, if you grow up with them, you put them in a jar. You like catch them and you have a jar, and then you let them back out in the morning. So they're usually around at twilight. I'll try to catch some for you guys just so you can see them more up close. But it's a pretty like magic part of June and July is that the whole outside is just sparkly